Hello everyone, my name is Alice. I am a recently qualified evolutionary astrologer and I'm very excited to share my first YouTube video. I've been doing a bit of Instagram stuff and short form videos, but the truth is I've always wanted to do YouTube videos. I grew up watching YouTube and it feels better. Like I can sit here and yap around and chat about the things that I feel passionate about, and those of you who resonate and want to listen will stick around, and I welcome you wholeheartedly. Okay, so let's just get into it actually, because coming up on the 9th of November, from the 9th to the 29th of November, is a Mercury Retrograde. Now, I feel like Mercury Retrograde gets a pretty bad name when it comes to like pop astrology, and most people, even if you're not that into astrology, have probably heard about a Mercury Retrograde, because this is the time where everything starts going wrong and like flights are delayed and messages don't get through and all of these things. There's not total untruth in that. Mercury is the planet of communication, information processing, but also perception. So it's the way that we are taking in the world around us, and it's the way that we are bringing our inner world to meet the outer world. Things might go wrong, it might be hard, but I think often the external feels hard because something internally needs to be looked at. And if we resist looking at the internal thing, then the external will shift to become harder to force us to look at it. A more empowering way to look at Mercury retrograde is as a moment of review and reflection. And anyone who's on this journey of deeper self-understanding and knowledge and deeper understanding of the nature of the universe and reality and asking these big questions, this is your time. Any Mercury retrograde provides a beautiful opportunity to reflect, to take stock, to review how you are showing up in the world, and to realign yourself with that which may feel better for you, more aligned. And we can also zoom it out to the macro, like what is your role in the greater tapestry of life? Are you in alignment with the role that the universe is asking you to play, or are you resisting it? Is there stuff that needs to be looked at? Mercury is currently in Sagittarius, and it will be retrograding through Sagittarius for about half of the retrograde period. And Sagittarius, when I think of the archetype of Sagittarius, I feel like this warm orange glow, and I feel like I sit up a bit straighter, and there's like this ferocity in, like, it's kind and it's friendly, but it's also like curious and excited about being alive and about experiencing the world, and so hungry for learning and experience and to just sort of jump head first into our experience of being a human. But Sagittarius also has a bit more direction than the planets, the archetypes that came before. Sagittarius is on this quest for truth, and not necessarily inner truth, but more universal truth. And wants to get there by any means, whether that's traveling the world or traveling the inner realms or opening books and learning. The archetype of expansion. And so when Mercury is in Sagittarius, it's asking us to expand our worldview, to expand the way that we perceive the world around us, and to expand into the world a bit more, and to take up more space with what we want to say and how we want to present ourselves. Sagittarius also teaches us to believe before we see. It is so in touch with trust and trusting the process, and it understands that our beliefs shape our experience. And that, I feel, is such a Mercury theme when we're talking about perception and how we're taking in the world and what we're putting out into the world. Mercury in Sagittarius is asking us to look a bit deeper than just the words that we say, but what are the thoughts that we're having, what are the beliefs that we're holding. And in retrograde, it's asking us to take a look at those, to review the beliefs that we're holding about ourselves, about our lives, about possibility, and consider the potential that each of us hold and the potential that we hold all together. So halfway through this retrograde period Mercury is going to retrograde out of Sagittarius and back into Scorpio. Scorpio carries a very different energy to Sagittarius. Scorpio is the excavator, the depth diver. Like Scorpio, if Sagittarius is facing outwards in this like shiny golden light and like taking the world in, Scorpio's diving inward into the deep inner lake of our internal world and diving down and down and down into the deep shadowy places of our own psyche, of our own being, to find the truth. It's interesting that Sagittarius and Scorpio are very linked to truth in some way, but different aspects of it. So Scorpio is asking us to turn our gaze inward, to look at our inner demons and our shadows. And actually those things, those unconscious patterns and beliefs, are the things that are ruling our lives. And if we can look at our shadows, really truly turn towards them and look them in the face and ask them what they want from us, we can start to shift something on a much deeper level. And it's also sort of this theme that we have so many of the answers that we're looking for already within us. It just takes some real, radical honesty with ourselves of what are we really bringing to life? What are we really creating for ourselves? What are we putting out there? What are we taking back? What are the stories that we are making up about what things mean? Like Sagittarius actually comes after Scorpio in the regular moving of things, and Sagittarius is really teaching Scorpio how to have more belief and how to expand their view. But this retrograde period is showing us how it is important to do the deep inner work. To change a belief, it's deeper work than just changing a thought, and it's a bit harder, and it takes work and dedication and commitment and really holding ourselves accountable for the part that we play in our own lives and in the lives of others. What's interesting as well is that Scorpio is ruled by Pluto, and Pluto is currently in Aquarius. Aquarius is a sign of liberation, being liberated from the status quo, from the way things that have always been done or the way that things are being done by the majority. Aquarius desires this liberation, but it can also have a bit of a tendency to get stuck in its ways. And adding this sort of energy into the Mercury retrograde story, it's telling me of this opportunity that we are being given to liberate ourselves and to liberate the collective through humbling ourselves a little bit. Aquarius is a sign that can get really sort of up on its high horse and block out other influences and other ideas. And this Mercury retrograde period is really asking us to look at the cages we have built and around ourselves, the things that we're holding onto and grasping onto in the name of identity, and to really look at them and deconstruct them. I think there's also a wider theme going on right now of us all being sort of kept in these echo chamber containers. So when you go on your phone and you're scrolling through your algorithm, you're being fed more and more and more of what you know and what you want to see, without much room for breaking out into another perspective. And it's creating real tangible divisiveness that's happening throughout the world and on a global scale. And this Mercury retrograde season, I feel, is asking us to really question these echo chambers that we've built up around ourselves, to just take a second to review what we're holding on to and what we're living by, and do these things really still align with us? Do they really align with us? And can we change our mind? Can we free ourselves from these cages that we have created for ourselves in the name of identity? And can we dig a little deeper and reach that place beneath it all that is this deeper and truer expression of consciousness that is not defined by the things we do or the things we believe or the political parties we support? It's just this deep, true humanness. And through unpicking these layers, we have an opportunity to reach that place. We always have that opportunity. But I feel we are being cosmically asked to make an effort to get to that place. Because the world needs us to remember how similar we really are. Different, of course, but when we focus too much on our differences, we forget how to be compassionate and how to be loving to one another. And we're seeing it reflected in the wider story of the world right now. But I think it's really important for us to ask ourselves how we're playing into that. What are the judgments that we hold of other people? What are the judgments that we hold of ourselves? And how can we free ourselves from that by bringing more compassion, bringing more understanding, bringing curiosity, to create connection rather than division? Interesting as well, because actually during this time, very close, Uranus is also retrograding back into Taurus. So we're having this sort of like rewind, re-reflection into themes and patterns that have been present for the last few years. And Uranus in Taurus is sort of reiterating this idea of questioning where our values lie and how we define ourselves. Are we attaching too much, not only to a belief or an idea, but to material possessions or our outward expression or what people think of us? Because if we are, Uranus in Taurus is asking us to review that and to giving us this opportunity to create new values based on deeper truth. We are all growing, we are all evolving as we should be. And that means that the values that we held 3 years ago might not be relevant now. And liberating ourselves always from the patterns and ideas of the past, so that we can collectively write a new story for the world. And we have to be deeply, radically honest with ourselves and not get too caught up in the wider narratives. It's so easy to point fingers and blame other people, but something really changes in life when we can take radical responsibility for the role that we are playing in our own story. And understanding the power that we have to change and support and improve the stories of other people by showing up to the world more compassionately and with more understanding and with more generosity. And over these next few weeks, between the 9th and the 29th, noticing the things that trigger you, the things that bring up a strong emotional reaction, and allowing these to be keys to unlock parts of you that you don't want to see. And noticing how the behaviors of others can be and often is a reflection or a mirror of the behaviors of ourselves. Noticing the things that you don't like in other people and asking how you show up in that way, how you are also that. We're all human and we all have the capacity for every human expression. And we all need to take responsibility for it. Okay, I think I'm done. Let me know if it resonated with you. And I'm offering astrology readings. The best way to organise one of those is to contact me via Instagram. My handle is at the.ink.alchemist. And yeah, thanks for listening if you made it this far. And I wish you the courage and the wisdom to step up to the lessons that Mercury Retrograde is asking you to integrate during this time.